Aging. It shows up slowly, a fine line here, a gray hair there, but beneath the surface, something much bigger is happening. Inside every one of your trillions of cells, tiny changes are stacking up. Energy production drops, DNA repair slows, and the engines that keep you alive, your mitochondria, start to sputter. But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if aging isn't just a fact of life we have to accept, but something we could actually slow down or even partially reverse by boosting a natural molecule that's already in our bodies? Enter NAD+, short for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. And yes, it's a mouthful. This coenzyme is like cellular currency. Your body spends it to create energy, repair damage, and stay alive. But here's the catch: we lose it. A lot of it. As we age, our NAD+ levels drop dramatically. Some scientists believe this decline could be one of the root causes of aging, and that restoring NAD+ might help us turn back the biological clock. Sounds like science fiction, right? But this isn't just a wild theory. From Ivy League labs to cutting-edge biotech startups, researchers are exploring how NAD+ and its precursors might unlock longer health spans, better brain function, and maybe even a way to age without feeling old. Some call it the fountain of youth in a bottle. Others say it's overhyped snake oil with a fancy label. So what's the truth? Is NAD+ the future of anti-aging science? Or just expensive hope in a capsule? Let's break it down. NAD+, which stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. But don't let the name intimidate you. This tiny molecule might be one of the biggest keys to how we age and how we might slow it down. So, what exactly is NAD+? In simple terms, NAD+ is a coenzyme, a special helper molecule that your body needs to keep running. It's found in every single cell of your body and is absolutely essential for life. Seriously, without NAD+, you'd be in real trouble. And by real trouble, I mean dead. One of its most important jobs? Energy production. NAD+ helps your cells convert the food you eat, carbs, fats, and proteins, into the cellular energy known as ADP, the fuel your body runs on. It's basically your cell's power switch, helping kickstart energy metabolism at a molecular level. But it doesn't stop there. NAD+ also helps repair damaged DNA, which, let's face it, is constantly getting dinged by things like UV rays, pollution, and even normal metabolism. Without enough NAD+, your cells struggle to keep your genetic code in shape, which can lead to mutations and cellular breakdown over time. It's also involved in reducing chronic inflammation, something that scientists now believe is at the core of nearly every age-related disease, from Alzheimer's and heart disease to arthritis and type 2 diabetes. And perhaps most famously, NAD+ keeps your mitochondria, those tiny power plants inside your cells, running at full steam. When NAD+ levels drop, mitochondrial function suffers. And when mitochondria suffer, everything else starts to fall apart. Now here's where it gets interesting and a little alarming. As we age, our NAD+ levels drop fast. Some studies suggest that by the time you hit middle age, you may have half the NAD+ you did in your 20s. Half. And that decline isn't just some random byproduct of aging. It might be one of the main reasons we age in the first place, because with less NAD+, your cells can't make energy as efficiently. They can't repair damage as quickly. Inflammation starts to build. Mitochondria wear down. And slowly, but surely, your body starts to feel, well, older. The good news? Scientists think we can do something about it. And that's where things start to get really interesting. As we get older, it's not just about counting birthdays. Our cells are changing in ways that affect how we age. One of the key players here is NAD+, a crucial molecule that powers many cellular processes. But unfortunately, NAD+ levels naturally drop as we age. Why does this happen? Well, it's a mix of things. Everyday stress, poor diet choices, and not getting enough sleep all chip away at our NAD+ reserves. But even beyond lifestyle factors, our bodies have some internal culprits. Certain enzymes, like CD38 and PARPs, ramp up their activity as time goes on. Think of them as little molecular sponges that gobble up NAD plus faster than our cells can replace it. CD38, for example, is involved in immune responses and inflammation, which tend to increase with age, meaning more NAD plus consumption. PARPs help repair damaged DNA, which becomes more frequent as we accumulate cellular damage over the years, so they also drain NAD+. All of this means that the balance tips. NAD+ is used up more quickly than it's made, leading to a decline in cellular energy and repair capacity. Here's the exciting part. If we can find ways to boost or sustain NAD+ levels, whether through supplements, lifestyle changes, or future therapies, we might be able to help our cells function more like they did when we were younger. In other words, maintaining NAD+ could be a key strategy to slow down the aging process at the very root, inside our cells. NAD+ precursors, NMN and NR. Here's where things get really interesting. Directly taking NAD+ as a supplement isn't the best plan. It's a pretty big molecule, and your gut isn't great at absorbing it whole. So scientists have been focusing on its smaller building blocks, called precursors. These are like the raw materials your body can easily grab and turn into NAD+. The two frontrunners here are NMN, which stands for nicotinamide mononucleotide, and NR, or nicotinamide riboside. Both NMN and NR have been making waves in the world of anti-aging research. For example, back in 2013, researchers gave NMN to older mice and saw some pretty impressive results. The mice not only moved faster and had better muscle strength, but they also lived longer, suggesting that boosting NAD+ production really can improve health span. NR has gotten a lot of attention too, especially because it's been tested in humans. Now, it's not quite the stuff of superhero origin stories, no Wolverine claws or superpowers, but studies show that taking NR can safely increase NAD+ levels in the bloodstream. And importantly, it doesn't come with any major side effects, which is a big win when you're thinking about long-term use. So, both NMN and NR offer promising ways to gently nudge our bodies back toward youthful NAD+ levels, helping cells keep up their energy and repair work. What the science says and doesn't. Alright, so we've talked about how NAD+ precursors work in theory and in animal models. But what about us humans? How much of this exciting science actually holds up in real people? Let's dive into some key studies. In 2018, researchers gave nicotinamide riboside, NR, supplements to older adults for just 4 weeks, and they saw a noticeable increase in NAD+ levels in the blood. That's a promising sign that these supplements can actually boost NAD+ where it counts. Another study looked at nicotinamide mononucleotide, NMN, in postmenopausal women and found improvements in insulin sensitivity. This is important because insulin resistance tends to increase as we age and is a major risk factor for type 2 diabetes and other metabolic problems. Fast forward to 2022, a meta-analysis, basically a big review combining results from several clinical trials, found that these NAD+ precursors might help lower cholesterol, reduce inflammation, and support overall metabolic health. So it's not just about energy. These molecules could influence multiple aspects of aging-related health. And this is a crucial point, most of these studies have been relatively small and only lasted a few weeks or months. We're still waiting on larger, long-term trials to really understand the full picture. That means we don't yet know what the effects of taking NMN or NR might be over years or decades. So while the early data is promising, it's fair to say that the science is still catching up. NAD+ precursors might be a powerful tool in the anti-aging toolbox, but they're not magic bullets. The future will tell us more. The wellness industry and the hype. So here's the kicker. Despite all the still figuring it out science, the wellness industry has gone full speed ahead. Walk into your local pharmacy and you'll find bottles of NAD+ precursor supplements lining the shelves. Feeling fancy? Some luxury wellness spas are offering NAD+4 drips. Yes, directly injecting NAD+ into your bloodstream for a pretty penny. Rumor has it even celebrities like Jennifer Aniston are on board with this trend. But here's the million-dollar question. Is it really worth all the hype and the price tag? The reality is a little messy, eh? Unlike prescription drugs, Most dietary supplements don't go through rigorous FDA regulation. That means the pills you buy might not always contain what the label promises. Sometimes they have less, sometimes more, and occasionally, who knows what else. On top of that, boosting NAD plus isn't necessarily a one-size-fits-all solution. If you're under 40, generally healthy, and living a balanced lifestyle, your body is probably already producing enough NAD plus to keep things running smoothly. So popping supplements just because they're trendy might not be needed, at least not yet. In short, while NAD plus precursors hold exciting potential, it's smart to approach the wellness hype with a healthy dose of skepticism. As always, consult with a healthcare professional before jumping in headfirst. Real anti-aging strategies. So, after all this talk about NAD plus and supplements, where does that leave us? Well, NAD plus precursors might help support your cells as you get older, but they're not a magic potion. Instead of chasing the latest shiny supplement, a smarter game plan is to focus on extending your health span. That's the number of years you actually spend feeling healthy, energetic, and vibrant. And guess what? The best ways to do this aren't flashy or complicated. They're the tried and true lifestyle habits we all know, but often overlook. Start by eating more whole plants, fiber-rich foods, and healthy fats. Think nuts, seeds, avocados, and olive oil. These nourish your body and support cellular function, including keeping your NAD plus levels in check. Sleep is another powerhouse. Aim for at least 7 hours a night, because your cells do a lot of repair work while you're catching those ZZZs. Exercise regularly, about 3 to 5 times a week. This doesn't mean you have to train for a marathon. Even brisk walks, yoga, or light strength training can boost your metabolism and help maintain NAD plus production. Of course, avoid smoking and try to limit alcohol, both of which can accelerate NAD plus depletion and cellular damage. And yes, stress matters too. Chronic stress pumps up inflammation and enzymes that drain NAD plus. So taking time for meditation, deep breathing, or whatever helps you unwind isn't just good for your mind, it's good for your cells. The takeaway? These everyday habits support your body's natural ability to produce and preserve NAD+. No pricey 4-drips or pills required, just consistent, healthy choices that pay off over time. So, should you start taking NMN or NR supplements to fight aging? Maybe, but definitely have a chat with your doctor first. The science is promising, but it's still early days and we're learning more all the time. What's clear, though, is that your body has an incredible ability to heal, regenerate, and thrive, whether or not you're spending hundreds on a supplement. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Anti-Aging Hack, and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more science-backed tips coming your way to help you stay youthful, energized, and vibrant.